Welcome back to News 3 today at 11. Two local nonprofits are teaming up to host an event aimed at activating residents into action. Later this month, Deep Center and Just will host a workshop on the basics of community organizing and supporting campaigns for change. Dr. Danielle Pilgrim is the lead community organizer and executive director of Just. Coco Guthrie-Pappy is the Director of Public Policy and Communications for Deep Center. They join us now with more. Thank you both so much for being here
thank you for
today.
Having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I guess we'll start off by talking about each of your organizations, what you do in the community, and currently, what is your biggest challenge?
Sure. I guess I'll start. So Justice Unites Savannah Together. It's a nonprofit organization, a coalition of 22 faith congregations united to pursue justice and equity in Savannah-Chatham County. We focus on social issues that affect our congregants as well as our community at large. So like the lack of attainable housing in Chatham County, school literacy. Currently we're working on a access to mental health care campaign. And so we focus on things that affects our local community and try to find solutions that can bring about incremental change that will eventually lead to large changes, as in reducing gaps and inequities in our community.
And we were talking during the break, you have a big event that's coming up in just a few months.
Yes, in May, we are hosting a campaign to advocate for greater access to mental health care, not just for those who have diagnosed issues, but for those who are seeking access to a provider. And there lots of studies that show that there are gaps within our community right now, and we're hoping to reduce those gaps.
Now, Coco, Deep is not a new organization to our community. We all know about what you do, but can you refresh our memories on exactly what your plan is for people in our community?
Yeah, absolutely. So just as a refresher, Deep Center works with both youth and adults in our community, and we do that through arts, through writing, but also advocacy and community organizing, right? I think sometimes we get caught up in the fact that we do these after-school programs, but we're looking at all the different ways that we can holistically be working with our community to meet their needs, because we know that Savannah deserves to be a just and equitable community, right? And so for us, some of the things that we have been working on is status of education for young people, especially in the time that we're in right now, where we're looking at some really steep potential federal cuts from the Department of Education. But we're also looking at criminal legal reform, juvenile legal reform, LGBTQ rights, mental health care access. So there's so many different ways in which advocacy is being moved forward, not only by our young people, but also by the adults that we work with.
And that brings us to this collaboration between the two organizations. You're hosting an event, a workshop, so to speak, for people in our community who feel at this point, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, they just don't know what resources are available, how can they tap into those resources, how can they make their voice heard?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think it'll come as any surprise to anyone who's watching this or to any of us sitting here. People are scared and people don't know what to do, right? Maybe you've gone to a march, maybe you've called your congressional representative, maybe you've signed a petition, but you still feel like I could be doing more, right? I could be doing more. And I think when we think about what is happening at the federal level, so much of it feels out of our control, except the fact that whatever is happening at the federal level will end up impacting us at the local level. And so for us, this is really a way of saying, hey, let's take a pause. There are some really key skills that you can learn where you can just go out into the community and then put this into action, right? There's so many different ways that people can plug into work that is already happening in this community, but also if there's something that they don't see happening, that they can go forth and do it, right? And we just want to bring that skill set to people.
Absolutely.
So we're running out of time, but here's the information right now on the Community Organizing 101 workshop. It's Saturday, March 29th from 10 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. The location will be sent with your registration. The deadline to register is Monday, March 24th. You can visit our website, wsav.com/deepcenter, to find out more information. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today, and most of all, thank you for what you're doing in our community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you. Right now, it's time for a look at our forecast. Good morning, Alyssa.